My ideal life just changed dramatically. Let's dive in. All right, Jason, our ideal lives need to be reviewed often. Right? We actually recommend that you do this several times a year. Maybe as goals, like specific goals, but also, are you moving in the steps in the right direction to what you want your ideal life to look like? And what I was just referencing, Elle and I, my wife and I, our lives have just changed. We didn't even know that this was going to happen. We couldn't even have dreamt this up. And who knows what's going to come out of this? So, what happened? We got the opportunity to travel with work. So, we're working for 1 week out of every month for the rest of this year. Currently, this is 2024. So we have 6 live events that we're going to go and experience 1 week at a time. And we get paid to do that. Yes, we are going to be doing work. And yes, it's going to be long hours, but it's going to be worth it because this is the lifestyle that we have chosen, meaning it's very mobile. We're nomadic. We like experiencing different foods, cultures around the world. And this is going to do that. We don't know what's going to come about, right, for the next year. But for right now, we've put a pause in RV life to go and do these opportunities.
Hmm. It's so important to remember, Mike, as you think about these changes, and anybody watching can understandably, intellectually know that things change, right? And we talk about that all the time. Change is one of those things that you can count on. You can count on that something will change. It could be your job. It could be your relationships. It could be the situation that you're in. It could be the location that you're living in. I mean, you and I have gone through a bunch of changes over the last 5, 6 years. And it's just really important to remember that change will happen. And then what do you want to do to respond to that change? And I think this is where you and I come in, where we're talking about our ideal lives, is helping people understand that your ideal life will change and then adapting to that. And what does that look like? So when you say this opportunity came, I mean, obviously you have to have your eyes open for these opportunities. And then you actually choose, yes, we're going to do this opportunity, or no, we're not going to do these opportunities. And then how do you adjust to that? So for the viewer watching, how do you adjust to, whoa, this happened. I'm going to choose it. What do I need to do to adjust for what's going to happen in the next, in your case, next 6 months, for example?
Well, I think it's important to go back to the very first time I ever started making changes, and this was with a vision board. And that was 10 years ago. I wrote a vision board and stuck all the photos and the phrases I wanted on a board, and I put it up on the wall, and I just kind of looked at it. Either consciously, subconsciously, it kind of got into my system. That was before I even had met Elle. And it was cool. It was cool to dream. Oh yeah, this would be really fun to do this one day. I didn't know when it was going to happen. Then I met Elle, and then that day came fairly quickly. I don't know if it was the vision board or the focus on it or whatever, but the opportunity came. And what I meant was, when I met Elle a year later, she said, "Let's quit our jobs and travel around Australia." Okay, done. Right? I didn't need convincing because I had that dream. I just needed someone to help push me along to make the decision happen now and not 5 and 10 years from now.
We'll get back to the episode in just a second, but we wanted to give you a gift just for being here today. Thank you so much. We've got a 3-part video workshop absolutely free for you. This workshop is designed to help you get organized with your money so that you can give yourself a 10% raise. When you give yourself a 10% raise, you are going to have more money. And when you have more money, we will show you exactly what to do with that money so that you can get on the path to financial freedom and start living your life, your ideal life, today. You're going to learn how to get out of debt. You're going to learn how to save money. You're going to learn how to free up money so that you can invest for your future. If you're unfulfilled with life, whether it be at work, in your personal life, or with your money, then this is the workshop for you. Visit sentinelcoaching.com/raise. That's sentinelcoaching.com/raise, or click the link in the description. Now, back to the episode.
But it all started with creating a vision, right? What is your ideal life? Thinking about what it is for you, right? That was what I wanted. And luckily, that's what Elle wanted. But what's important to you? It could be owning a Tesla. It could be having a three bedroom house with 2.5 car bath and a 3 car garage, and they're all filled, right? That could be your dream. It could be bicycling across America. Whatever it is for you, it's as individual as you are. So it's important to know what that is, and to answer your question of being open to receiving, right? Elle said, let's quit our jobs and travel around Australia. Done. Right. I had already put it out there to the universe, like, God, whatever you believe in, dictate and control the situation, but I had to dream it. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just to dream it and be open to receiving.
Yeah. I think that's something that a lot of us, so you're very fluid. I describe you as fluid. You
Yes.
can easily go from one thing to another, and you actually like that. That's part of your personality, how you're wired. I'm not so much fluid. I like my routines. I like the things that cause me to understand what's going to happen. I don't really like not knowing things. So a lot of people like me would say, oh, I can't do what you're doing. I can't do that. But that's the whole point, is you have to design what your ideal life looks like. And when I describe this, is a blank canvas. And if you had a blank canvas and you're painting or you're drawing something, you have to draw details of your life that you want your life to look like. So Mike says it all the time. Who are you hanging out with? What are you wearing? What are you eating? Where do you live? Are you smiling? Are you frowning? Are like, what are you driving? Like, in as much detail as you can, even for a personality like mine who likes to know everything, put that out there, and then be okay knowing that you have the choice to say yes or no, right? When an opportunity comes up, like it did for Mike, what he's sharing here is he's traveling all over the place. I might actually look at that opportunity and say, no, that's not an opportunity for me. So I can say no. I can say, no, thank you. I don't want that opportunity. I'm going to look out for other opportunities that keep me grounded, that keep me steady here, if that's your personality. I think that's a really important distinction, is where we think everything's going to change and your life is going to be crazy. No, no, no. You choose. You decide what you want your life to look like. And I think that's where the review is so important, of going back 2-3 times a year, maybe, to say, is my ideal life different? Is it the same? And do I like it or not? If I like it, let's keep doing it. If I don't like it, let's change something, right? And that's the biggest thing, is you can always change. Everything is temporary if you want it to be.
Yeah. And that reminded me of one of the things I did say no to recently. I was asked to be I have an electrical engineering background, so I was asked to be on site in the Midwest of the US for January and February, which is winter. And I said, no chance did I want to be freezing cold in the middle of winter in the middle of nowhere. So I did say no. The money would have been amazing, but it wasn't what I wanted right now. Now, if you would have asked me this earlier in my financial journey, when I was getting out of debt, or I was building my emergency fund, or I wanted to create a little bit more investment, I probably would have been tempted with the money. But because of where we are, that didn't line up with what we want and how we want to live our lives. So it depends on the season you're in. So again, I probably would have said yes to this 10 years ago, but right now I have the ability to say no, because I want to continue to live the life that I want to live, and different opportunities come, such as the one that we're going to get paid to travel around the world in.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And also knowing what your priorities are. If your
Yes.
priority is to save money, that might
Correct.
Be a higher priority than the living in the winter months, in
Mhm.
a cold climate, right? You're willing to do those sacrifices. I always say this all the time. What are you willing to sacrifice or give up? And what are you not willing to sacrifice and give up? You might not be willing to give up that warm weather, and that's okay,
Mhm.
right? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So this is important. So the takeaway from today is truly, like, know what your priorities are, know what you're doing, be intentional, go back, review what your ideal life looks like, and then alter it if you need to. And Mike, anything else before we sign off for today?
No, and you can do this whenever you are. You be watching this in January, in July. It doesn't matter what month of the year. Just make the decision right now and do it. It's great to review. And you might review and be like, no, I'm actually really good. It could be a really quick review, which is a great type of review. But enjoy the process, and we will see you in the next lesson.